Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Pam, and we are still working on the McCall's pattern, M4364. We have already sewn the pocket, sewn around, and I've done a serging stitch, and then we did a top stitch attaching it to the pocket piece just as a basting stitch. And we have sewn the outside seam, and I have done a top stitch along that seam. It just kind of goes along the edge there. And we have done our top stitch along this pocket, along the front part. And now we are going to be sewing these pants pieces. And we have our notches, and we've got those marked, and I've got it all pinned together. I have both pieces pinned together, and it is a 5/8 inch seam allowance. And so we are going to go ahead and sew that up. I had done some of these off my phone, and my phone died, so now I'm using my computer. And unfortunately, my computer does not have a pause button. I guess most people end up using their phones. But it is what it is. I have that piece sewn together now. And after we get both pieces sewn together, I'm going to take you over to my other machine, and we're going to do a serging stitch. And on this piece, we also have our notches marked and matched up. And we're going to use that 5/8 inch seam allowance. Okay. As you can tell, this fabric frays quite a bit. And so to prevent it from coming undone, I use my serging stitch. We'll go ahead and move you over to my other machine here, which is just right next to my other one. Go ahead and scoot on over. And we are going to stitch that up. I'll adjust some stuff here. There we go. And we have this piece. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little clip in it to get the serging stitch started out. And I'm basically just going to have my presser foot on this side along the seam. And I'm not pulling on my fabric, I'm just helping it guide it along. And we'll go ahead and put this piece in, and we'll get that going at the same time. We have that all serged together, or overlocked, stitched together. It helps prevent the fabric from fraying as bad. Go ahead and take a look at the seam on the inside. I think it looks pretty good. And then next we are going to take this and we are going to sew the crotch seam in. And go ahead and take this piece. This piece stays outwards. The other piece is right side out. This piece is inside out. And we're just going to push that along up there and match those seams. And we're going to take it over to the other machine and we're going to do the 5/8 inch seam allowance along this other side. And I should probably at least pin it or clip it. So I have some nifty wonder clips here. And we're just going to match those notches. And to reduce in the seam bulk, we're going to go ahead and turn those seams to either side. We're just going to clip this together. And then we have our notches here, and we're going to make sure those match up. And they match up nicely. And you can use as many or as little pins or clips as you need. Sometimes I may not use as many. But with the videos, I find it is easier. So we have that all clipped together. And then we're going to go over to the other machine and do a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I have a 2.5 and a 2.5 as our stitch length.